All opinions or statements expressed on the program are solely those of Investors Schooling or their guests and do not reflect the opinions of WPHT or Odyssey.
WPHT, WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. The Larry Steinhouse Show.
We need to know that you're live.
That's hysterical. They changed the name to the Larry Steinhouse Show. I love it. I was wondering if they were actually going to do that.
One day.
What was that? Like 6 months now we've been talking about them changing the name to Larry Steinhouse?
Exactly.
I know, but let me do my intro because I was confused by it.
Can you just make sure you add the live? So
Yeah, we can do
people
that,
will
right.
know that we are live
Yeah,
and
exactly.
this is not another recorded show?
Yeah, exactly. Well, anyway, welcome to the Larry Steinhouse Presents Investor Schooling, right?
Good.
There we go. Hey, we are live and transmitting from the Investor Schooling Studios right here at Investor Schooling headquarters. I am Larry Steinhouse, and I am the CEO of Investor Schooling. I'm here with my co-host, Omri Morad. Dr. Deb is out today. She's actually...
At the doctor appointment.
Is there a doctor appointment? No. She's actually working on one of her properties. She had to go to Monroe. Not Monroe, different property.
Okay.
All right, anyway... Our show is simply described as edutainment. We promise to entertain you while you learn about the world of real estate investing, the stock market, and many other financial things. Hey, you can call us anytime during the show with your questions at
855-939-1137.
That's
855-939-1137.
Yes, we are a live show.
We are.
We are not lazy like the rest of the people on Saturday that do their show pre-recorded sometime, and who even knows when they pre-recorded their show.
How can you take advice from someone who is not dedicated enough to come on Saturday and do their show live?
Exactly. I mean, that's how dedicated we are to you. We're dedicated to you so much that we come here on our Saturday. Omri has to get a babysitter for his kids.
Correct.
Right? Right? And I can't go away with my wife because we're dedicated to you.
Yes, we are.
So do me a favor and give us a call at
855-939-1137.
We have to record you saying that, so when you're not here, we can use the voice.
That's the essence of Investor Schooling.
Right.
I think that needs to be the logo.
Some of those shows were recorded back in 1957.
I know, right? Exactly. Especially those guys when selling annuities. Oh my goodness.
It's WPHT, your archive.
They sell annuities, right?
Yeah.
What do they sell annuities for? You know why? Do you know why
honestly,
registered reps?
I have no idea.
Do you know why registered reps sell annuities?
Because they have to?
No.
Because they have no other product?
No. Because it's the most commission paid of anything that they sell. That's why when a registered rep says to you, hey, buy an annuity, lock up your money for all this time, don't have any access to it, and if you decide you really need access to it, we're going to fine you with a big penalty.
So what I didn't get about annuities is that according to the graphs, in the first year or two, you lose money.
That's right. That's exactly right. It takes about 8 years before you catch up, and then when you actually catch up, you're making money now on your money, but you've lost 8 years of money. So even though you're making money, you're only making money on your initial deposit 8 years later.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it either. And look, and I have to tell you, there are places for annuities. Annuities are not as an investment. Annuities are for what the vehicle was invented for. You give somebody a large sum of money, like $1,000, whatever it may be, $100 million.
Yeah.
No, it's not safe. And they will calculate your death, what year you're going to die, and they're going to take a certain percentage of interest on that money, and they're going to give you a check every month based on your life expectancy and that money.
Okay.
That's what annuities were designed for. They were never designed to be a savings vehicle or a investment vehicle. And now what happens is these investment advisors, because they have a license to steal. Everybody knows that a registered rep has a license to steal.
Yes.
And the registered rep, like the people who sell, like there's a show, I think it's on after ours, that sells annuities, right? And you don't want to buy those annuities because they're gonna basically steal your money.
Yeah,
we teach this, and here's the best part: we don't sell annuities. We don't sell any products. We only sell education.
Yeah.
And because we sell education, you can learn the difference between an annuity, a life insurance policy, a mutual fund, a other investments, the stock market, and even how to lend money to real estate investors and make more money from day one than you will in any annuity.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it doesn't matter to me because I don't sell a product. I don't make commission. I don't make commission on anything you do. If after I'm all done teaching you annuities and you think they're the greatest thing ever, good luck. At least you have an education.
Yeah.
It's not where the guy goes, "Oh yeah, you give me your money, and in 8 years from now, it'll be zero. It won't be zero, but it'll be less than what you gave me. But that's okay. That doesn't matter. What matters is we're in it for the long term. Yeah, you're in it for the long term because you're now stuck in that annuity for the long term. So
How long? What's the minimum term?
well, before you can even get your money back, it's 8 years. Sometimes 10.
Yeah.
So in other words, you give them $100,000, and if you want to pull out of that annuity 3 years from now, you may only get $92,000.
So the thing I guess I don't get is we know how great our life insurance those days. And that in 8 years, you not only can get all your money back, you can also go above what
Okay,
you
so
invested.
what you're talking about is you're talking about a whole life policy.
Exactly. It's a whole
and
different thing.
But it's a specially designed whole life policy.
Correct.
So it's not like the typical whole life that your I don't know, your uncle sells. This is a whole life policy that most people don't know how to do, and that's something different. But I don't want to get into that at the moment.
And they exist.
I was just bashing annuities because I again, another student came to me before they were a student. They bought an annuity. What do? I go, you're stuck. There's nothing you can do. By the way, we got a caller. Lewis, what's going on?
Hey, are you there?
What's happening?
Okay. Before you beat me up, I got a question for you.
Okay.
You know the dead zone? I've been trying to figure out from the rule, is a dead zone to each individual stock, or is it a general term for all the stocks,
Wait.
the whole dividends?
So I'm having a little bit of trouble understanding. What did you say?
Okay. I'm talking about stocks, no real estate.
Right.
You know the rule that you got, the 17 rules. The dead zone
stock
that
options,
says
stock
it's
options.
45 days after earnings, right?
Wait, say that again?
45 days after earning.
Is the dead zone, which is something I teach called the dead zone. Yes, okay.
Okay, the
Lewis,
question I have
you're
for
a student,
you is,
right?
yes, I am.
Okay, now I know who you are. It's for whatever reason, you're very muffled.
Lewis, are you on a speakerphone?
No, I'm not.
Okay,
I'm using my earbud.
You just muffled. Oh, yeah, that's just the same
Okay.
thing as a speakerphone. The earbuds are worse, actually.
Okay.
But go ahead.
Well, no. Anyway, the question I have is this. When you do the dead zone, is that the 45 days, is that for each individual stock? In other words, if a stock dividend day is 30 May, for instance,
Yeah, so it is.
you do 45 days from there?
It's from 45 days after the earnings period. So it's usually that week. So if you span it out 7 days, on either side, that's usually the dead zone. So what Lewis is talking about is we teach a set of rules for stock options, and one of them includes something called the dead zone. And I discovered something very interesting, that in between earnings, so the day of earnings announcement that is, the day of earnings announcement, you're going to have the stock is either going to pop or drop. Sometimes it pops, sometimes it drops, depending on the earnings or depending on the market. Like Meta the other day, they did fine, but they dropped, 60 or 70 points, which was ridiculous. And now they're going to start heading into the next earnings season. And about 45 days from now, it should be, it's not always, but it should be the lowest point-ish of the stock before the next earnings. So a lot of people try to buy.
Okay, but my question,
Yeah.
my question to you, Larry, is that 45 days, is that for that individual stock or for the whole earning season?
No, it's for that individual stock.
In other words, let's say I'm dealing with Apple. Apple's earnings is today or whatever. I come
Coming up this
45
week, I
days from
think.
now.
Yeah, so it's 45 days
Yeah, well, I
from...
didn't even look at it, but
Lewis, you want me to answer the question that I've answered twice?
yes.
Okay, for the third time, it's for each individual stock. So the day the earnings are announced of that stock, The dead zone is approximately 45 days from then. You get it?
Yes, sir.
All
Thank
right,
you
cool.
very much.
Now get your I almost said the wrong word. Get your butt back to class, and we'll see you in class on Monday, right?
No,
All right,
you
then we
won't.
won't. Then we won't see you in class on
I
Monday.
will. No, you won't.
All
I'll
right.
tell you what I'm doing when I get there.
Okay.
Have a nice day.
Thank you, Luis.
Bye-bye.
We'll get you when you get back. All right.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you, Glenn.
Bye.
It was very tough to understand him, but we got through.
We got through. We always.
Right. Anyway, where were we? I was talking about annuities being the worst investment on the planet.
Correct.
Oh man, it's over and over and over again. I get these students coming in. I have this annuity. What do I do with it? One time I actually bought someone's annuity out. Like basically, like they put $100. It was actually $100 grand. It happened to be. They put $100 in. If they surrendered the annuity, they've had it for 3 years. If they surrendered the annuity, it was $95,000. I gave them 8% of their money guaranteed, and I gave them the $5,000 difference to lend me the money.
So wait, how much you pay in order to break an annuity?
You pay a surrender charge.
Which is like
It could be up to
5%?
10%.
up to 10%.
Up to 10%, yeah.
Okay.
And it goes down every year. So like the first year, it could be up to 10%. By the 9th year, it could be 2% or 3%. And the money that you put in doesn't 100% of it doesn't go to work for you. Less than 100% goes to work for you. Because it's so bizarre how they do this.
Yeah, I don't get why people, what push people to actually put their money in annuity.
I don't know.
It's like only a safe place for money.
I'll tell you, here's the people that push people into annuity. Registered reps.
Yeah.
That want to feed them. They want to feed their family with the commissions.
I know.
So anyway, if you ever listen to people talk about annuities, like after our show, you might want to just be a little skeptical.
Exactly.
In fact, I can tell you something else.
That's the question.
2 weeks ago, I was listening to a show that might be after our show.
Might be.
Might be. And the guy actually said in his show, he goes, I've been doing this for 30-something years, he goes, right? Remember, I've been doing this for 42 years, but that's different. But he goes, I've been doing this for 30-something years, and he goes, I used to think annuities were terrible up until 10 years ago. You know why that changed?
Should be the opposite.
No, you know why that changed?
Why?
Because 10 years ago, all the annuity companies raised their commissions.
It's good for him.
Isn't that funny? And that's what we have to deal with right now. So anyway, I'm done with my annuity rant.
Exactly.
But it absolutely drives me crazy. Let's get back to the fact that we're a live show.
We are a live show.
Right. And people can call in, use the number
855-939-1137.
So now everybody on this station listening that has annuities just turned us off.
Exactly.
Because they were mad at me because I pointed out the truth.
And because they just logged on and see that their money don't make any money.
Right, exactly. Or makes very little. Right. I mean, it's amazing out there the things that go on.
I know.
And the things that go on with people selling you their annuities and their mutual funds and mutual funds. I mean, look, mutual funds are probably much better investment than annuities. But mutual funds, they give unrealistic expectations on mutual funds, and all you need to know is you just need to know that it's not that mutual funds are bad, but mutual funds is where a bunch of people get together.
Yeah.
So like, let's say we had 100,000 people put all their money together.
Yeah.
And all those 100,000 people, they each own a certain amount of shares. Let's say they're just on one, just to make it easy. So they whatever. So they put their money in. They each own a number of shares. Let's say it's one. And that fund now invests in multiple companies. It can invest in 20, 30, 40, 100 companies and makes money for all those people. And each one of those people make money. Mm-hmm. Now, the problem is, and it's not necessarily a problem, it's just that there are unrealistic expectations. Now, you do know that the money manager, we talked about this the other day in class, the money manager in those funds makes how much?
15%.
50%. 50. 50. So when they make you $100,
wait, all of them make 50%.
Some more. Some make more than 50%.
50% of the profit.
50% of profit. Some make more.
So when somebody say that their mutual fund made 8%,
right?
This mutual fund could be
making
16%.
No, not 16.
Of the profit, you said.
Yeah, but it's going to be even higher than that because now there's fees that go to the brokerage. There's fees that go to buying the stocks and selling the stocks. So when they made 8%, this fund probably did 20 or 30%.
This come in a conflict because sometimes people look at wholesaler, for example, in our business, in real estate, and they say, this person is going to make 10 or 20 grand without doing anything, just because he's selling me a property.
They found the property.
Exactly. I don't care how
Yeah,
much
exactly.
they
I
make.
don't
They
care
can
either.
make as
Right.
much as they want. As long as the deal is good for me, it's good for me.
That's right. That's
I
exactly right.
never look at it like they're greedy.
No.
But to take 50%, for some reason, I can't get it. I can't get enough. It's so greedy.
No, I understand, but that's what it is. It's not greedy.
It
Remember,
is.
these guys make no salary. They make make a small salary, and they're in there. They're on fire all day long because the stress is ridiculous. So I'm all for them making as much money as they want, but just understand that when your mutual fund, the expectation of your mutual fund is 10 or 12%, it only makes 8%. That's pretty common, and 8% is not bad. But then, don't forget there's the money manager, not the money manager, but your registered rep, who takes 1.5 to 2% of your entire account that year as a fee.
Capital and earnings.
Capital and earnings. And even if, so let's say you put $100,000 in, right? 1% of that is how much? 1,000.
1,000,
right?
yeah.
Well, 2% of that is 2,000, right?
Yes.
So let's just use 2%, make it easy. So if they have $100,000 in you invested, your money manager, your money manager makes, your registered rep makes $2,000. Now, if he made you 10%, your account is now what? 110, right?
Yeah, but he make the 10% from the print from.
Wait, check it out. You're going in the right direction, right? So now your account is 110,000,
exactly,
which means he makes $2,200. So how much did you really make? 7.8%.
Okay, now if
Not 8%.
if I lost, let's say I'm at 90,
Beautiful. Next, you guess how much he gets?
$2,000.
2%. He gets 1,800.
Okay, so he also take
yeah.
the loss.
Same percentage.
Okay, good.
Why is that good? That's
Because
good for him.
I was afraid that you were about to say that he still make the $2,000 even if
Well, he made 2% of what's left in the account. So no matter what, you're losing money always. Well, not always, but you have to make a lot of money to make up for all the money that you're paying.
I know.
The registered rep. So you guys have to be aware of this stuff.
And until something very bad will happen and people will need no places to live, I still think that real estate is
always the best place. Always the safest and best place to invest your money. Now, it's funny because people are like, well, what happens when the real estate market crashes and it's about to crash? Who cares? Omri, how much are all my properties worth together right now?
What do you care?
Zero.
Exactly.
Right? Zero. Or
Who
what do I
cares?
care? I don't care how much my properties are worth. You know what? All I care about is that the rent pays the mortgage and I make money on top of that. No, not the mortgage, but pays all the expenses, correct? Mm-hmm. And I make money on top of it. That's why real estate will always be the greatest investment.
I know.
Because I've got dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of people going to work every day to pay my bills.
I know.
I love it.
I know. Me
it's
too.
just fantastic.
I know.
This is true capitalism.
And I take it to the next level with that. Because even though I'm not taking a lot of money out of my properties, I make sure that in every one of my properties, I don't need more than 2 months to pay all my bills. 2 months of rent.
So think about this, right?
Uh-huh.
So now let's say you have $150,000 equity in your property because you waited some time.
Yes.
And you're like, you know what? I want to take $100,000 and go somewhere, go do something with it, whatever, buy a car,
exactly.
right? Whatever, right? So you go to your property and you take $100,000 out. Your property increased $150,000 in equity. Mm-hmm. You now borrowed out $100,000. Mm-hmm. How much taxes do you pay on that $100,000?
Nothing.
Nothing. You know why it's nothing? Because it's not income.
No, it's
debt.
all part of the fixed asset.
And who pays that debt?
What do you mean? The tenant.
The tenant, right?
Exactly.
What awesome! I mean, it's like when you think about how great real estate is as an investment.
I think what you need to understand, what people need to understand here, if you look accounting wise, you don't pay at all, and you even earn. Why do you earn? Because while the principal that you pay back to the bank is part of the fixed asset, the interest is an
It's
expense.
deductible, exactly.
It's an expense
And
and
it's
it's
the crazy
deductible.
thing about that, right? The fact that I'm deducting the interest from my account,
Yes.
from my taxes,
Payment.
and I didn't even pay the interest. The tenant paid the interest.
I know.
Isn't that awesome?
the best thing in the world.
It's absolutely amazing.
The best
anyway,
thing in the world.
I've gone off on a lot of things at the moment. So if you want to call in right now, just ask us any question about real estate, about annuities, about
No annuities.
investments. All right, I don't care. No news. About investments, about politics. I don't really care. But we are a live show. Today is what? April 27th. Mm-hmm. And I can't believe we're still on at 2 o'clock.
We are.
It's unbelievable.
I'm going to sleep after
This
that.
is when everybody takes a nap at 2 o'clock. That's why nobody's listening.
Beside Kimi.
Yes, well, I meant to say we got a couple of people online saying hi. We got Kimmy online saying hi. We got Jim online saying hi. And also, Kimmy just said in the Odyssey app, it finally says the Larry Steinhouse Show, not investor schooling. Isn't that amazing?
I know.
How long ago did I want to change that? I think it was a year ago.
Yeah, something like that. I know.
But you know why? You know why they changed it?
Why?
Because George Soros
Who is?
is now investing in Odyssey. Oh,
Who
you
is
don't know
this?
who George Soros is? do you?
No.
Oh, yeah. I'm just picturing Glenn's face right now, cringing.
No, I just think that I was pretty sure. I'm very sad that I didn't make it last week where you were in the station.
Yeah, it was
Because to
gorgeous.
me
Yeah.
the station is only Glenn.
Yeah.
There's nobody else there. Nobody else. You
It's
can't talk
beautiful.
to
Actually,
anybody
beautiful
else.
station.
Yeah.
Beautiful studio. Yeah. Beautiful
Okay.
studio. Yeah. And, they spent a whole lot of money on it when it was Entercom, when it was radio.com.
Okay.
They spent a whole lot of money on it. It was beautiful. And then they just didn't make the money they were supposed to make. And I think they rebranded it. I don't
Sadly.
think they actually sold it. But then, there were some financial issues. And now George Soros Fund invested in Odyssey, which means that, eventually
Who is he?
he is I think the best way to describe him is the devil.
The devil
Yes.
from Georgia.
No.
Okay.
George Soros.
Okay.
That's his name. So the best way to describe him is the devil. As a matter of fact, if you watch Star Wars and they have the what's the guy the really bad guy with the hood on?
Yeah.
What's his name?
I don't
Help me
know.
out here, Glenn.
Sith Lord?
Yeah, the
Sith
Sith
Lord?
Lord. But what's his name?
Oh, I forget.
The guy with the corroded face.
Yeah.
It's him.
Yeah, it's him.
It's
yeah.
him.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, it's like, wow, Star Wars got it right. It's funny, and it looks just like him. Anyway, when you talk, he's like he controls all the Democrats, he controls all the money flow. It's a long, it's a long story into the Illuminati if you're really into all of that. All right. So anybody wants to give us a call, talk about anything else? The phone number is
855-939-1137. Again.
Yeah. And if you're watching online, you can leave comments, and we should be able to see them. All right. And
We do see them.
by the way, somebody says I'm good at math because I was doing the annuity stuff at 2%. so Mo online says that I'm good at math. So thank you, Mo. I appreciate you saying I'm good at math. I should be good at math.
You should.
I have to count money every day.
Especially with what you're doing. Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of money, I got to tell you what happened.
Oh, after the commercial break?
No, we got some time.
Okay, go.
So where are we going this week?
We are going to Florida on Tuesday morning to check on our investment property. It's not a property, it's a mobile home site.
Right.
And we are going to drive back with 2 cars.
Right. So Omri bought a car a few months ago that we haven't driven back yet. And I bought a car the other day. It was a 1993 Cadillac Elante in beautiful condition, 28,000 miles. So I'm adding this to my car collection.
Okay.
So I'm buying it from an estate. So it's funny because I keep thinking this is going to be me. Not me, but this is going to be my kids selling off my cars.
Okay.
So this guy had a car collection, and this is one of his cars. And so
he's not with us anymore.
no, he passed away.
Yes.
And his family's selling off his assets, so they can get their money. I got it for a good price. I got it for $10,000, which is phenomenal. I mean, it's a good price. It's not a great price, but it's a good price.
It's 28,000 miles, something like
Yeah.
that.
I mean,
It's amazing. Come on.
So I wanted to. So I made yesterday. I get the account number and I wire the money to her, to the daughter who is the executrix of the will.
Mm-hmm.
I wire the money to her, and for some strange reason, the bank I'm using, which is Wells Fargo, the bank I'm using has 2 pages. The first page you put in the routing number,
Yes.
and then you go to the next page and you put in the
Account number.
account number, right?
Correct.
Well, I put in a routing number. I got that right. I went to the second page, and guess what I did?
You put the routing number again.
I put the routing number again.
You can't.
Yeah, you want to bet?
It doesn't have enough digits.
You want to bet? So it sent my wire to an unknown place of my money for this car. So I called her up. I didn't realize it at first, of course. I didn't find out until today. I called her up and I said, hey, listen, I wired the money. Did you get it? Because I wanted her to FedEx me the title.
Yes,
so I
correct.
could put the title in my name.
Overnight, yeah.
Right. So she goes, I didn't get it yet. I can't FedEx you your title. I'm like, I know, but where's my money? She goes, I don't know. And back and forth and back and forth. And finally I said, what's the account number I wired it to again? And she gives me the account number. And I look online. I realize I wired it to the routing number. And I mean, come on, really? You know, we have advanced AI.
Yeah, it's not
Advanced
possible.
AI, right? Why doesn't advanced AI know that, hey, you obviously put the wrong number in if it's the routing number twice? But no, they sent my money to some unknown location that doesn't exist. And I have a confirmation number that has this unknown money sent to somewhere.
So it also need to verify by the name. That's at least in Bank of
Yeah,
America.
you would think, right?
That's what they do.
Yeah, but
Unless it do
didn't work.
verify, he asks you and he tells you you can't transfer because the name doesn't match the
that's not what
account
this
number.
did. The only thing this did was verify. The only thing it would let me do is it would verify. It would verify. The only thing it would let me do was verify the routing number, but not the account number. So I went to the bank this morning, and I'm like, I'm in a panic because, you know, if you make this mistake, when you wire money, and you wire money to somebody else's account accidentally, they don't have to give it back. I mean, you know, it's fraud if they keep it, but it's not easy to get it back.
So if you wire to the right routing number, right? You know what bank is it, right?
Yeah. So I have to call Wells Fargo again on Monday. I was told today by the banker when they did a bunch of research that they will, as soon as they realize the mistake, they're going to send the money back to me. I go, when? And they go, it could take up to 14 days. So I'm like, great. You know, luckily I have other money that I can use to buy the car and wait for the money to come back. But that's what I did. I wired it to the wrong account.
Ooh.
Isn't that terrible? So this is great. Here's a question up here. You ready for this? And I'm going to ask this question very slowly. There's a guy who's online who asked me a question. He says, why doesn't your show go to Saturday morning at 10 p.m. and be part of the Saturday morning financial lineup on WPHT?
We need to.
Well, here's the answer. You ready? Because let me see if I could give this answer. Let me see if I could give this answer
in the right
clearly,
way.
right?
Exactly.
PHT, us.
Good.
PHT, us. You understand what I mean, Ryan? PHT, us.
We need to be lazy.
Get it?
And record a show.
Yeah.
And give bad advice, and then we will be at 9.
Right.
At 9.
So here's the answer, Ryan. Since you brought it up, did you know that on PHT you can have 2 financial shows back to back, which is total bull.
Oh, man.
It's complete
Jesus.
bull. You know why? Because if that was true, there wouldn't be a financial show after all.